What is going on, everybody? Today, STIPE here today from Unique Chrysler. Here behind me, I have the 2020 Jeep Gladiator, and I'm going to be doing a review on this. I've actually had them in for a little bit of time, and I've just been slacking and haven't done really my first impression on it. So that's what I'm going to get into today, and then I'm sure there'll be more Gladiator videos coming up as the week progresses, hopefully, and I'll kind of do a little bit of little topics that I've noticed about the Gladiator so far. But before we do get into this video today, please make sure you do hit that subscribe button, and we'll get right into it. So yes, to start off the video here, we're looking at pretty much a Jeep Wrangler with a pickup bed. I mean, it's pretty significantly the same, as you can tell. I mean, if I were to stand right here, I mean, you would have no idea that this is a Gladiator really per se. Now, what they did change, if you were really intelligent about these vehicles, is this grille is a little bit bigger with the honeycombs, as opposed to the honeycombs are a little bit smaller on the Wrangler. But other than that, it's pretty hard to tell the difference until you get to the side here, and then you obviously see that it says Gladiator on the door, and obviously there's a pickup bed back here. Now, where it really becomes a pickup is, I tell most people, right here. Because as you can see, the door is pretty much the same, and I would say that's one of the main complaints I have about this vehicle. Yes, I understand it's cheaper to just keep, you know, the Wrangler door, and it's obviously less parts and stuff, but like, I don't know, would it kill Jeep to just make a new door so that it goes all the way down? Because when you look at this, that's a pretty big, I don't know, just blotch of panel there that it looks a little bit odd. So that's one complaint that I have about it to start off. Obviously, you can get running boards on these just like the Wrangler. They're very similar in style. Interior wise, pretty much the same. Changes a bit in the back, which I will show you in just a second. But yeah, as you can see, still the Freedom top is very similar to how you remove it. Obviously, these are the insulators here. So now if we look into the back seat, window controls are still there, outlet is there. And now what's mainly different about this here is, if you look at this actually folds up in the Gladiator, as opposed to in the Wrangler you can't do that, which is pretty neat. Now, another thing too is you've got storage in here, which I think is pretty neat, and this is pretty significant on the Overland. You can get this, and on the Rubicon. So that goes down. Obviously, this is full leather seating. Right here in the middle, you still have the armrest that comes down, and there you are with the cup holders. And this is a manual backsliding window. It is not power like it is in the Rams. Right here. So unlike the Wrangler, the fuel cap is exposed on the Wrangler. On the Gladiator, they actually have it paneled like this. So this way, to open it, you have to press that, and it is not locked, as many people would think. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to lock the Gladiator, and as you can see, you can still open it. So it doesn't lock with the vehicle, which I kind of wish it did. I think that would have been kind of smart for them. Obviously, that is the LED lighting group on this one. And the tailgate does the same thing as the Rams. It goes down on its own, as you can see, and doesn't slam right down, which is pretty neat. Right here on the optional soft top, there's a pull valve that you pull up on, and then you just roll this all the way across. As you can see here, I'm trying to do this with one hand. It's fairly easy though. I'm doing this with one hand, and it's not that bad. And then you can grab this, and then you feed it through here, and you Velcro it down to hold it, which I think is pretty awesome. You all obviously get the bag storage for the two panels there of the Freedom top that come off to store them back here so they don't get scratched. And obviously there's the power outlet as well in the cargo box. I don't know if you guys can see that, which I think is pretty neat. Just close this. You press down kind of in the middle, not on the end. You press down here. You got to kind of press that. That's the only kind of complaint I have about that factory soft top. But the backup camera is integrated here on the actual tailgate. The spare tire is underneath the Gladiator. Obviously they don't keep it on the back like the Wranglers they do. These overland rims I'm a huge fan of. I like them a whole lot. So now the other thing about this Gladiator in particular is the hard top and how it removes. So it's pretty much the same. It's got a bunch of bolts that you have to undo, and then you lift this with someone else. Now the nice part about this top is I find you only need 2 guys to do it. You don't need, you know, 3. I mean, you can do the Wranglers with 2 guys, but the biggest problem with the Wrangler top is I find it's very awkward, and you can kind of bang it up on your way, kind of getting it off and putting it down and things like that. This one's a little bit easier. You're more unlikely to bang it up, which is nice. So now we're inside the Gladiator here, and I mean, as far as everything goes on the inside, it's pretty much a Jeep Wrangler. The leg room, the way you sit in the back is pretty much the same. You just obviously don't have it open. The Gladiators are very similarly priced to a 4-door unlimited, let's say, Wrangler as well. They share a lot of similarities too, obviously in look and styling and everything. So basically now when you're driving this vehicle, what is the difference? Well, it's a little bit smoother, I find. I think it's that added weight, that longer wheelbase. I find the 8-speed in the Wranglers, it's way more responsive than, you know, the automatic transmissions used to be in the JKs and stuff. But the thing is I find it's very jumpy. I like it in this. It feels kind of more like Grand Cherokee-ish. It's a little bit just more smoother, and it's not as how would I say, throttle responsive touchiness. And that, I don't think they changed anything necessarily. I just think it has to do with the way it manages its weight and the way it manages that longer wheelbase, maybe to transfer the power to those wheels, because obviously the wheelbase is longer. So that's one thing I noticed. And the other thing I do like, it does ride a little bit smoother than the Wrangler. Not a whole lot. I mean, the way it handles is very similar. It's just that it's that you do notice the wheelbase, and that's really all I can talk about on how it drives. I mean, you don't really feel a huge difference between the two. So I mean, if you've test driven a JL Wrangler and you were waiting for one of these, they're gonna drive pretty much the same. And I advise, like, when you see it in person, you had a lot of more higher expectations probably for it than when you see it actually in person. I mean, I think it's a little bit too similar to the JL Wrangler, but it's very unique and it's very neat. I know that there's a lot of people who have been asking for Jeep to finally release this, and they have, which is nice. But that's my kind of opinion for it today, guys. I'm going to do a video on kind of why the Gladiator, things that I don't like about it, and why it's kind of been a flop so far. And yeah, that might shock some of you, but I will do a video more in depthly into those 2 topics. Thank you for watching today the video, guys. As I usually say, I will be back with more videos. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you.